Let me ask you this today. Are you using more than 10% of your brain? Okay, y'all. You already know the deal. If you've been rocking with me, what's the deal? Hey, you see me? You feel me? If you are new to my channel, I am Divine Destiny. It's nice to meet you. Please get cozy here. This is tea time. I'm sipping yerba mate. What you sipping? Okay, make sure you grab you some tea, something to drink, grab you a snack, and we're just gonna vibe and chill and discuss some things. And today, the message from Spirit is use more than 10% of your brain. So let's dive into it. You know, don't mind the creeps. Okay, so you know the vibes, okay? I have some notes here because I want to deliver this message the way that Spirit is giving it, right? So I got some facts here for you. Did you know that the idea that humans only use 10% of their brain is actually a myth? I feel like that's something we were told in school. I feel like I learned that in school. Anyway, it comes from the founder of American psychology. His name was William James, and he founded this idea in 1907 when they first started to really dive into the study of brains, right? The exploration of the brain and how it works, things like that. Popular mainstream still has this running, mainstream media still has this running to this day. Excuse me, confirmation burp. Right? Why would they still be running with this when it's like actual Googleable information that it is a myth? Most people aren't Googling it. But two, we're gonna dive into it, right? So, telling people that they only use 10% of the average human only uses 10% of your brain allows people to be comfortable in complacency, right? It allows people to be comfortable with the 10% they are using and be like, well, everybody else doing it. Are you going to be everybody else? Are you going to jump off that bridge? No, because the rest of your brain capacity is telling you not to jump off that bridge with the rest of the 10%ers, right? So I really got to, asking Spirit and sitting with Spirit, like, why would they want you to only be using 10% of your brain? And the answer is simple. If you are using more than 10% of your brain, you're tapping into your sentient gifts, right? We are all sentient, energetic beings. This is like fact in science, right? So look, sentient means the ability to perceive and feel. So we're sentient and we're energetic. We are consistently, constantly receiving, perceiving, and feeling the energies around us. That's just natural, right? That's just how it's built. That's how we're wired. But when you are using more than 10% of your brain, you are actually tapped into and recognizing and understanding the energies it is that you're perceiving and feeling, right? If you're really using more than 10% of your brain, you're able to filter out what is not yours. Oh, that's not my thought. That's not my energy. That don't belong to me. Do away with it, rebuke it, whatever it is you got to do for yourself, right? When you're using more than 10% of your brain, you are able to center within yourself. You know yourself enough to know which thoughts, which energies, which ideologies are yours from your most authentic self, and which ones are being programmed into you, which ones are being projected onto you, and which ones you're just feeling from your own environment around you. Come on. Okay, let's dive into it. Let's get into it, right? So all of those perceptive energy channels, right? This ability, this sentient ability that we all hold, we're just tapped in on different levels based on how much you use these gifts and how much of your brain percentage you're using, right? So I wrote down a list of all of the clair gifts, clair abilities, right? So the first one is clairvoyance. This is the one you hear about most of the time. This is the ability to clearly see things, right? So this is going to be you're having visions like that. That's so raven ass moments. That's clairvoyance, right? Claircognizance is clear knowing. So it's just like an inner knowing, right, of truth, of universal laws, things like that. It's just kind of like, I don't know how I know this information, but listen, I know this information. That is my gift. Well, one of the gifts. You can have multiple clairs. That's why we're discussing all of them. But claircognizance is the clear knowing. Clairaudience is clear hearing, right? So some people hear literally the voice of God. Some people hear spirit talking to them, right? Just like messages flow through. Some people will hear like songs. Sorry, my light is dying. Some people will hear songs or movie quotes or things like that as they're like delivering message to help them emphasize that point, right? Which is why if you watch the reading videos, you'll see me like just bust out in song. It's because I'm hearing a song to channel, right? I'm channeling a song. The next one is clair empathy, and we all have empathy, but like on a clair level, that is clear emotional feeling, right? So this is just the ability, you could just look at somebody and you can literally be feeling what they're feeling without even knowing what they're going through, right? There are people who can literally look at somebody and be like, oh, you have a pain in your left knee, and then they can help you move through this pain or tell you where this pain is coming from and dive deeper into that, because they can feel into your body, right? It can feel into your emotions. Clair sentience, this clear physical feeling. This is somebody really feeling into your body. So that knee example also works here. Also, this is just feeling in your body. This is like you walk into a room and you catch a chill. And you're just like, it's warm in here, but I caught a chill, because physically your body is connecting with the energy around you, right? There's clair tangency, which is like clear touching. So there are people who can literally touch an object and maybe they see a vision, maybe they hear something, or just that clair cognition kicks in and they get a download or a message from whatever object it is that they touch, right? There's clair salience, which is clear smelling. So, you know, when you don't even have to walk into a room. You could just be in a room and like, you know, you're used to whatever smell is occurring, and then all of a sudden it's something sweet. You know, that's your ancestors. Or sometimes you'll hear people like, oh, it smells like cigars or cigarettes or alcohol, even though none of that is around. That is your clair salience, letting you know there's some energies that maybe your physical eyes can't see, that your clair abilities are perceiving and feeling, right? The last one is clairgustance, which is clear taste. So this happens to people like you won't be eating anything, or you haven't eaten whatever it is that you're tasting at that time. So like sometimes people will taste like iron, like a metally taste in their mouth if there's a negative energy. Sometimes people will taste like sweet things, savory things, depending on what energies are flowing around at the time, right? So these are all of your clairs, and this is the energy that you really tap into when you start using more than 10% of your brain, which is why they tell you that humans only use 10%, because if we all walked around here tapped into ourselves, tapped into our gifts, and really trusting and leaning in those gifts. Ooh. Hello, Gaia. Hashtag Gaia. Anywho, Garden of Eden. Jumping back into it, why would they continue to spread this myth of why humans only use 10% of their brain? And that's because they don't want us to decalcify that pineal gland, right? They don't want you to really expand your third eye, your spiritual body and being. Because if you do that, then you're not able to be controlled, manipulated, and fear-mongered, right? You're no longer into, if first of all, if you are in the belief mindset of you're only using 10% of your brain, you're probably consuming a lot of mainstream media, right? So once you step out of that 10% energy and you start, like, really jumping into the deeper aspects of your spirituality, of yourself, of your mind, of your body, of your energy, of your spirit, right? You become less controllable because now you are more centered energetically within yourself. And so part of it is trying to keep you outside of yourself. If you're only using 10% of your brain capacity, then the other 90% of that brain capacity is being used outside of yourself. It's being harvested, is being generated for whatever purpose, okay, the powers thou were wanted them to be used for, right? Whatever energy harvesting rituals they had going on up there, over there, around, you know what I mean? That's really where the rest of that 90% of your brain capacity and energy is going. And so when you start to dive into and hone, I'm more than the 10% brain capacity they say that I'm supposed to be using, then you start pulling that energy back into yourself. And that's what they don't want, right? Yeah. So it changes because it changes how you perceive the world around you, right? So it's the true definition of, like, I am in this world, but I'm not of this world, right? So you, like I said, start to pull your energy back into yourself, and you start to live within yourself, observing the external world around you through those clear energies, through those sentient abilities that you hold, right? That's when you really start to see and perceive the world differently. You're not just receiving the projections that are being placed upon you, because you're not living in those projections. You're not living in those illusions. You're stepping outside of those. You're in the 5D, observing the 3D because it's necessary to exist here on this physical earthly plane, but you're not allowing what occurs in the 3D to throw you off of your 5D track, right? Because in reality, this whole point, the whole thing we do in here, right, this earth school is a spiritual lesson, spiritual growth. We're here to expand ourselves on the 5D through the 3D, right? And so the whole thing is generated to try to keep you focused on the 3D so that you miss your elevation into the 5D, which is why you're sitting here, not you, but this is why people are sitting here believing and in comfort and complacency in 10% brain usage. Don't be a 10%er, okay? We need to push past that little 10% that they tell you is normal. Because the way the world is splitting, okay, the way things are flowing, is decision time. Are you remaining in the 3D? Or are you jumping into this 5D energy, right? And this is pivotal points. This is time to make the shift. This is time to make the jump. This is time to step into that portal, because the door is closing. That portal into Gaia, right? That portal into the Garden of Eden, Zion, whatever it is that you call it, heaven on earth, whatever it is that you want to call the energy of pure transformation that earth is going through from on a core level, from inside the earth's core all the way outside to all of our little beings and organisms, right? The transformation that the earth is going to and through at this moment, it's also occurring within us. That's why shit is as crazy as it is right now. And so Spirit is saying, make that choice. Stop believing, stop leaning into, stop consuming, I'm not going to say stop consuming all of it, but stop really consuming this fear-mongering, right? This manipulation, illusion, confusion energy that is being thrown and projected and just literally radiated all through this 3D world right now. And step into and tap into your 5D self, your third eye, right? Tap into and decalcify that pineal gland so that you can start to feel through life, right? So that when these illusions and this confusion and hello, manipulation magic is really being thrown all up over the place, you have the discernment to feel like, that don't feel right. Something don't taste right. Okay, whatever it might be, whatever gift it is for you, that gift, the gifts and abilities you have been given and blessed with in this life are here to help you elevate, here to help you move forward, here to help you keep it on together. Amen. Okay, and so Spirit is encouraging you to truly tap into those, hone into those, lean into it, trust it, because now is the time to move in your spiritual body. Okay, it was fun. It was fun dancing with the devil. Keep living in that 10% brain wave for a little bit of time. We all did it, okay? Spirit is saying it's time to jump off the ship. Jump off that 10% brainwave ship and jump into the deep end. I don't really want to go off the deep end. Spirit is saying jump off the deep end into your own body, your own energy, your own spirit, and start to really lean into whatever gifts, sentient, energetic gifts. You do not doubt what you feel, what you hear, what you sense in your body. At this time, don't question it, don't second guess it, because it could save your life. And a lot of the times that is your spiritual alarm to save your life, whether it's about a person, a place, an energy, a habit. Listen, the door is open at this moment for you to jump into this new timeline and to shift completely. And Spirit is saying jump off that 10% of your brainwave bandwagon. Open up your mind, open up your heart, open up your body, open up your spirit, and really jump into doing and utilizing more of the spiritual gifts you have been brought here, sent here, delivered here to use and radiate in this world. Because when you are using your spiritual gifts to navigate life, you are also encouraging and opening up your energy to show other people and to encourage other people and to inspire other people to do the exact same. So be the light you want to see in this world. Be the intuitive being you want to see in this world, because you gotta be it to see it. That's the message. I love y'all. Like this video if you like this video. Send it to someone you love. And until next time, stay divine.